UCS Manager is really the secret sauce when it comes to Cisco UCS. I mean, the technology is really cool. We can do some really cool things with the VIC card. We've got single wire management. We've got the fastest servers that are constantly breaking world records. But when you take a look at the fact that UCS Manager is built into those fabric interconnects and that everything is auto-discovered and auto-inventoried, and I can manage my whole environment through a single pane of glass, whether I choose to do that through the GUI or through the API or through NXOS, and then I can manage everything as one UCS domain. Man, that is really, really powerful. So when I talk about one domain, I mean that you can start out with 8 Cisco UCS blades and use one UCS Manager. Later, you can add on another 8 blades, so now I've got 16 blades, and I can still use the same UCS Manager. You guessed it, I can add 8 more blades, and I'm still using the same UCS Manager that I used before. All of this is automatically discovered. All I do is log into the GUI, I launch UCS Manager, and I can see my whole environment from one single pane of glass. In this case, you can see that I'm looking at my equipment tab on the right, and I can see all of my chassis, I can see all of my servers, I can see any rack mounts I have, as well as my fabric interconnects. I can see how my power supplies are running, I can see how much power I'm consuming, I can look into my servers and see all kinds of different information. As a matter of fact, let's dig in to the servers tab and see what we got in there. Here I can very easily log in. I can see which CPUs I have, I can see any memory, adapters, how many HBAs and NICs I have, any type of storage configuration. I can basically see anything about the server right here from the server tab. I can also go into my fabric interconnects and I can take a look at them. I can see a graphical representation of the fabric interconnects. I can see whether ports are up and down. I can configure the fabric interconnects from here. And in this case, I may want to configure a port, and I can do that literally by right-clicking on a port, and I get all that information. As I take a look at the server tab, you'll see there's a ton of information in here for me to configure policies on how I want my individual servers configured. As I move over to the LAN tab, this is going to be able to configure all my IP-based settings. So for instance, my uplinks to the traditional network, things like my IP address pools and my VLANs and my MAC addresses, things like that are going to be controlled from my LAN tab. Whereas on my storage tab or my SAN tab, this is where I'm going to control all my storage settings. So whether I uplink to the SAN, what worldwide port names I'm going to use, what worldwide node names I'm going to use, all the things that have to do with storage are here on this tab. And any of these tabs, I can actually use role-based access control to control who has access to what. Here you can see I'm in my administrative tab, and this tab really has to do with controlling the fabric interconnects themselves. This is where I can, for instance, see faults and events, and even an audit trail for who made changes to what. And I would find that on the admin tab. Please join me for the next lesson, 1.9, examining the concepts and benefits of UCS hardware abstraction.